Welcome back everyone to our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager. So we're coming off of a tough race, but like I said in the last video, those are the kind of things that just unfortunately happen. They are very aggravating when they do happen, but it's just part of racing. So now we're lining up to go to Phoenix, and if memory serves me correctly, and again, I try not to go back and look at previous videos because I kind of like the freshness of not knowing all the information that I need to know when I go to a track. It just keeps it kind of fun for me. But I don't remember us having a really good car at Phoenix in the past. Now that could be for multiple reasons. We haven't had a car at a good car at a lot of tracks in the past, but we're in better shape now than we ever have been. So I'm hoping that we can turn that around and give ourselves a chance, number one, at points, and number two, at getting back on that podium. Because I really think we're on the verge of being able to do that on a very consistent basis this season. We've done it in the past. Toward the beginning of the season, we had, 3 or 4 races in a row where we were on the podium. And I really want to get back to that. Let's go ahead and get started with the mail. And again, we're still right around 50%. And yeah, we had 5 mistakes. Ouch. Okay, the offending crew members. Yikes. I mean, that's kind of harsh. I mean, we are human. We all make mistakes. I mean, I did it in qualifying by forgetting to swap out the drivers. But so that seems, the offending crew members just seems a bit harsh. All right, so we got Lucy demolished the competition last race. Yes, very much so. Crossing the line with a huge gap for the victory. Is it becoming too predictable? Nope. Is engineering excellence. That is what we want. That's where we want to be one day. We want to be in a position where we are just wearing out our opponents because we've spent the time upgrading our HQ and working on new parts and so on. All right, car repair is now done. You can see we've got still about a week before our new suspension is done. And then we're going to be at a point where we're not going to have a whole lot of new parts that we really are going to need to create, because you can see we've already got up into the great quality for gearboxes and brakes, and unfortunately we've gone about as far as we're going to be able to go with this new component. We're going to be right at 300 on the suspension, and that's as far as we can go there. So we've done about all the new parts we can do. Again, we could do a new gearbox and try to get both of the parts on an equal scale. But as far as our best part, we've kind of done what we can do. All right, the good news is it looks like all of these parts are very close to being done. You can see it says they're going to be done 24 days before the race, so in about a week. So I really like that idea. So now what I want to do is let's go under, and right now we've got this being auto managed, which is what I want to do long term. But let's come in and just take a look. Oh wow, boy, that's not much of an auto management. Look at that. Stamina's all the way down to 0. 7 mistakes. Well, here's where our mistakes are coming from. You can see only 1 mistake outside of that. So we got to do something here. I think I'm going to have to spend some money. We already know it's 200 grand every time you get a new you sign a new crew member. So we're going to have to do that. Wow, that is not good. I'm just going to have to try to pay better attention. So how do I know? There we go. There we go. I was wondering before, these guys are all under contract of, I think, varying lengths. But if I click on them, that's the only time. I wish there was, at minimum, somewhere out here, if we could figure out a way to maybe make this window smaller or something. I need an area that would show me how many races are left on their contract, because there's absolutely nothing on the screen. That's how I missed it the first time around, is there was nothing on the screen to tell me that, hey, these guys have a contract and they're going to run out. So let's see who we can hire first and foremost. Who is available? And I'd like to stay at 0% mistake chance as much as I can. For me, it's more about that than it is about all-out speed. I mean, this guy obviously great on the jack, really good on the tires. But what I'm really interested in, let's go ahead and hire this one. That's going to take us a little bit of money. And let's just try to find some good overall pit crew. And does it tell me anywhere here? No, it does not tell me how many races under contract. So I'm going to have to go back to the other screen for that. All right, 99 stamina. I like that a lot. Okay, that's good. We'll take that. So yeah, here's some of our money that we had planned to use for other purposes. But now I'm seeing this. All right, mistake chance. Yeah, these are not good. So let's go ahead and reject those. All right, that gives us some empty slots, and those will refill over time. And first things first, we're going to have to, are both of these the rear? Yeah, these are both the rear changers. So we're going to swap these guys out. We'll start there. And let's see. Yeah, we've got, man, that is bad because we've got at least 2 more that really need to be swapped out as well. Okay, so now the 2 new ones we have signed at 12 races, so that's at least the remainder of the season. And when can I renew their contract? I wonder how low their contract needs to be before I can renew them. Oh, there we go. I can renew after maybe just 1 race. Okay. We'll see how all that goes. I've got a lot to learn on the pit crew if I want to get back into managing this. And it looks like I'm going to need to, because auto manage and letting a guy get down to 0, I would have assumed they would have hired some folks. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I should have hired some more people and then put it on auto manage. I don't know. Again, a lot to figure out about this. So for now, let's just keep going. We know we've got performance work will be done. Our new suspension will be done here very shortly. Let's see. Do we have any new pit crew? Nope, not yet. Okay, I didn't think so, but never hurts to check. Okay, a couple of emails. And our new suspension. Of course, this isn't really an improvement. Basically, this new suspension is just going to bring us up to that 300 level on both. All right, let's get rid of, well, never mind. Never mind, we got the 1 more day. Okay. And now, let's see what we want to do. Oh, they're still not there? Really? All right, these are close enough. So we're going to get rid of these. That one that it's out is not going to make a difference. All right, so we're good on brakes. Again, we could choose to do another brake package there, and we'll look at that as well. All right, we're good there. Let's move down here. We need to improve this, but we don't have that far to go on the gearbox. And we need to work here. Okay, and we're in good shape. So the brake package, 408. And let's see what we can get. Plus 40. I'm going to stay away from the weight stripping. All right, so we got 1 more. I really wish we had some designer bonuses that we could really use, but unfortunately they're not all that good. Well, I guess we're just sort of focused on that. So that'll get us up to 433. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, we're going to run really low on money this season. Really, really low. But hopefully we'll get some more sponsorship money, and we can run a little bit into the negative. I don't like doing that, but it is available, and it looks like that's probably going to be where we're going to head. All right, so all of our staff allocated toward performance, And that's what we want. Everything else looks good. Okay, yeah, everything's where we need it. All right, so far, we just don't need any of those dilemmas that pop up, which cost us money. That would not be what we want. Okay, let's move these emails out of the way. We're doing great on our target of last. Yes, we are. And we got our new brake build. Okay, and we know that we've got one more slot available to work on that. So we're going to have two great brake packages, if I could say it, to start the next season. So that's going to be great. Gearbox. Do we want to do another gearbox? I really don't. I want to, yes. I'd love to have another 340 on that, but unfortunately, I don't think we're going to have enough money to do that. We're going to be pushing too far into the negative to do that. So suspension is good. Brakes are about as good as we're going to get them. And then the gearbox, unfortunately, is just going to have to wait. And if we get another influx of cash, maybe. But for now, can we hire some more? No, I'm thinking it's going to be after our next race is when this fills in. So my hope here is that these two guys in particular don't run so low on stamina that it becomes an issue. Okay, just out of curiosity, 11 more races. 11, so 11 seems to be the number. 12. And then, of course, our new guys are at 12. So I'll just have to remember to come in here and renew their contracts or replace them with other crew members. All right, here we go. You gotta love these emails. So we've got drivers complaining about our lead designer, and our lead designer is now complaining about our race mechanics. All of these are valid complaints, but it's just kind of funny to see how that goes. All right, so we've got, let's see, form is 10 during the race. Wow, that is huge for Lee. That is going to be huge. So his form is always perfect during each race. For the next, how long? 3 weeks. Okay. So that gets us through with the next race anyway. All right, so I think we are ready to go. So let's go ahead and select our sponsor. And let's get our tires. Wow, hard tires. Yikes. All right, 3, 6, and 6. Part fitting. Again, I don't think we have anything to swap out, but just to make sure. Okay, yeah, everything is where we want it to be. Let's head to Phoenix. All right, now that practice and qualifying are out of the way, we can focus on the race. So qualifying did not go well. This time, thankfully, it wasn't because I messed it up and forgot to do something. It was simply we didn't have the speed. We were about 4 to 5 tenths off of where we needed to be to get inside the top 5, which of course is our sponsor objective, and also what we keep in mind because that's the points paying positions. So we're going to hope for better pace during the race itself. We only had enough practice time for a level 1 knowledge bonus, and then so we'll be using the same bonuses that we've been accustomed to using. We'll be using the medium tire, which is the medium of the 3 compounds this weekend because it matches up best with the fuel we're going to be using, and we're going to be using the high engine mode for fuel burn and performance. So all of those things should line up for us pretty good. It was actually pretty funny during qualifying to see the results. The fast car on the grid was actually only about a second off of the Class A times. So that's how much faster that those guys are than the rest of the Class B. So it was pretty funny. So you can see here we start in 20th. Even though we got some pretty good laps in qualifying as far as the cleanness of the track in front of us and all of that kind of thing. Overall, it wasn't that bad. We just don't have the speed for this place for whatever reason. So we're going to hope for better things during the race. We'll keep an eye on the weather. I don't think it's going to be an issue, but I'll try to remember to every once in a while take a look at it. As always, we'll keep a close eye on the tire temps. Looks like they're coming up to temp now and may go, in fact, higher than that. We are in the desert after all. Okay, we're in 21st. I mean, it's normal for us to lose some positions at the start because we don't go all out with the car and push it as aggressively as the AI does. Okay, you can see those tire temps are coming right up there, so let's go ahead and back off and try to conserve that. You can see most people have chosen to go with the hard tire, which is understandable, but at the same time, I'm trying to get all of the grip I can for these cars and get all the speed out of it that I can. So if we can use the medium tire, then I'm all for it. Alright, these poor guys. Every once in a while I have to remember to look at car number 2. Oh, we've got a driver mistake, which is interesting considering that we're not even close to pushing. So boy, things are not off to a good start in this race. I always love it when these drivers come over the intercom and say that they're having a hard time getting past a particular driver. Well, in this case, he didn't have much trouble getting by you. So keep that in mind. Alright, so she is in the groove right now. Let's go ahead and let her go a little bit harder, at least as much as the tires will allow. So really what I look at in this part of the race, and really for most of the race, is I try to look at the gap between me and the points paying positions. If I'm not in the points paying positions already. Then I also try to keep track of our tire wear versus those around us to try to see how our strategy is likely to line up. Oh, we've got a drive-through penalty. Boy, we are having great luck at the last couple of races. So a drive-through penalty for someone who is low on speed anyway is not going to be helpful. All right, so we'll work through it. So Petra has made 2 driving mistakes so far in this race, and we're just getting started. We're just 30 minutes in. Oh, good gracious. Okay, let's come in for a pit stop. And let's put you on the hard tires. I must have forgotten to do that at the very beginning. There we go. Hopefully we can get you out of the way for a while. Okay, so even with this, we're still, I mean, we're 10 seconds behind, but it's still not out of the realm of possibility. We just need the AI to make some mistakes like what we're making right now. And if that would happen, then we could be in good shape to at least give ourselves a fighting chance for some points. But as it stands now, we're going to have to run, we're going to have a great race to make up that kind of time. All right, things are definitely evening out a little bit more in our favor. Let's see about our lap times. So we're in, okay, that's a 38 flat. Not too bad overall. Of course, you can see these change from lap to lap, depending on a lot of factors, including your driver consistency. But we're at least in the ballpark. We're not blazingly fast, but we're at least not terribly far off the pace. All right, let's go ahead and try to push a little bit more here. So we're doing great. We're at 46, 47 minutes now on the clock. So I think our tire wear is going to be okay to make it to our 1 hour long stint. But again, we'll see how that matches up. Okay, we don't want to let the tire get too hot. Okay, we got 8 laps of fuel left, which is going to line up pretty good with where we want it to be. Same thing with the tire. I know we're getting down pretty low, but thankfully you can run the medium tires fairly low. But the good news is it looks like we're going to make our hour-long stint goal. All right, there we go. Keeping an eye out for anybody making pit stops. You can see they're starting. And we are going to do the same next time by. All right, now we need to put Lee in the car because he's going to have an expected form of 10. And it should stay that through his entire run, which we are really looking forward to. So we're going to be right on our hour mark, pretty close to it. And we're going to put the medium tires on him. And of course, fill him up with fuel. And let's hope for no mistakes. So yeah, tires and fuel and all of that really worked out about perfectly for this. You'd like to have a little bit of tire left at this point, but we will take it. All right, so far so good. Oh, we got a mistake on fueling. Wow, 12 seconds. Again, game, you got to mix in some small mistakes as well. Not every mistake has to be catastrophic. All right, but unfortunately, that's kind of where we are. So 2 mistakes so far in this race. 1 pit crew and 1 driver mistake. So we'll try to pick ourselves up and work with it as best we can. But yeah, these last couple of races, we are not doing ourselves any favors. But hopefully we can get the pit crew side of this sorted out. They're still going to have some mistakes, but hopefully we can sort out this whole stamina issue and not let anybody get down to 0 stamina or even close to that in the future. All right, tires are running a little bit cooler, which is by design. I'm trying to let these tires run a little bit cooler, try to save a little bit of wear and get the longest possible stint we can, since we've got a driver who we know is going to be at 10.0 on the form. All right, let's go ahead and back down. So we have definitely had an up and down season. I mean, we had, again, I think it was about 3 weeks in a row where we were on the podium and doing great, feeling great about the performance of our car and our season. And now we're having a couple of weeks in a row that you just as soon forget. Now, we're not giving up on this race. But admittedly, we've put ourselves in a huge hole to do this. There's car number 2 right in front of us. If nothing else, it goes to show you just what a huge difference the drivers can make. You know, between the tire wear and the stamina issues and all that kind of thing that we've had on car number 2. I mean, it just goes to show how important the drivers can be. Now, the interesting part is going to be next season, since we're going to have driver aids that are going to be in full effect. That's going to take away some of the importance of the driver, and it's going to be interesting to see how all that plays out. All right, let's get back on neutral. All right, so again, we're looking for the other teams to make mistakes that would bring us in line and give us at least a shot at this thing. You know, one of the #1 rules of racing is don't beat yourself. Really, in any sport or anything in life you do, just don't beat yourself. Give yourself an opportunity. Sometimes it'll work out, sometimes it won't. But at least if you do everything you can do and don't beat yourself, then you can have that to be proud of. All right, we're getting down to 0 stamina over here, so let's make that pit stop. Get that out of the way. All right, hard tire, and we'll just keep filling them up with fuel. All right, tires getting too hot on car number 1. All right, we're at least within a shot of a couple of cars in front of us. Again, we'll see how this works out, but having a driver that is pegged on 10.0 driver form is never a bad thing. So you can see at this point we're about 10 seconds out of the points. 10, 11 seconds or so. And if we can keep up this pace, if Lee can keep this up for the rest of the stint, then at least we're giving ourselves a shot. And we can sit around and think about what would have been had we not had the couple of issues that we've had. All right, so the tire wear and fuel, again, are matching up pretty nicely. Okay, so we move up into 19th, even if it's only briefly. Okay, and now we are, well, you can see they're really stretching it out on us in the points. But we're going to keep hammering at it. All right, we're getting ready for our final stint. I'm going to run this one down as low as I can and keep Lee in the car as long as I can. But he is going to have to come in here very shortly. There we go. We'll let him come in next time by. So a great stint for him. And the tire choice, we'll go ahead and we'll just stick with the mediums. It's just enough. Let's see. Wow, that's maybe not. But we're going with it. There we go. All right, we need a good pit stop. Okay, so far so good. Tires, good shape. Refueling, good to go. So no mistakes on this pit stop. And now we're going to find out if we can do anything with those at the top of the grid. So everybody right now is on equal footing with us. That's not good for us, because this is where it really shines bright that we've had as many issues as we have. All right, let's calm down on the tire temp. Got to make these tires last. All right, any weather to be seen? Does not. At this point, weather would be one of our only opportunities to try to pick up some positions on strategy. Looks like we're having engine issues on car number 2. But again, we're not going to worry about that. So, boy, it is not fun to look on the standings and see your 2 cars back at the bottom. So we've dealt with that a lot. And it is not fun to see it in this particular case. So for us, again, this is just one of those tracks that does not suit our car right now. We just don't have what it takes to compete on speed here. So any mistakes we make only compound the problem. All right, let's take a look at the lap times. We're running mid-37s, and that's good compared to those in front of us. For the most part, there. Let's see if we can continue that. Nope, indeed we cannot. Now we're way up into the 39s. So that's a consistency issue. Could also be a traffic issue as well, depending on how much traffic you got. I don't see a whole lot of traffic around that particular car right now. So again, it's frustrating. You know, you see like a 37.3 right there, which is a very good lap time compared to those around us. All right, I don't think car number 2 is going to make it to the end with this particular driver. May not even make it to the end with the engine. All right, let's see how many of these guys come in for a final pit stop in the last 30 minutes of the race. It doesn't, if you look at their tire wear, I mean, this is getting pretty low, but those above it look like they're in pretty good shape, except for maybe 4th place. The leader, but of course the leader, it won't even matter there. The top couple are so far out in front that a podium is guaranteed for them, for all intents and purposes. But yeah, we would love it if these guys started making some more pit stops and we were able to pick up some spots that way. All right, there's another pit stop. So we move up to 20th. All right, let's go ahead and open up a little bit more on the tire. Okay, go back to our lap times. All right, so we dipped down into the 37s. Looks like everybody else did as well. All right, down into the mid-36s. All right, so that's good. Again, looking at those directly above us, we should be gaining on them. But I just don't think we're going to have enough time to really make it worthwhile. Okay, let's go back to conserve on the tires. All right, again, pit stops. I saw somebody duck in. That must have been in the A class. Yeah, we just need 2 more people to come in to the pits. Doesn't look like we're going to get that here in the last 10 minutes or so. So overall, if it ends up like this, I would have to say that's not bad considering the mistakes we've made. Once again, if we can keep from shooting ourselves in the foot, then we will be in really good shape and give ourselves not only the possibility for points, but the real possibility to get on the podium. All right, there we go. We move up 1 more spot. There's 4 more minutes. Does anybody else want to come into the pits? Who's running up ahead? Okay, we're just going to... Fuel tank is empty. We'll let them come in. And I don't really care. Oh, once again, please stop doing that. Talking to myself on that one. Because we all know that's not going to happen. Alright, so we just need 1 more person to pit. Come on, pit. I know it's less than a minute left, but you want to pit. I know you do. Alright, low fuel does not matter because we're at the end. Oh, once again, we're going to be so close on this. We just needed 1 more driver to come into the pits, and we would have made it. Man, so close. Even with everything that happened, we almost made it. On one hand, it's a really good thing that gives you hope for the future, but on the other hand, it is so frustrating. It's frustrating to see what was possible, but unfortunately will not happen. Of course, we could also have somebody mess up in scrutineering and gain positions that way. Unfortunately, we didn't get that. All right, so now you can see this is where the mistakes are really starting to hurt us in the team championship. I mean, we were in the middle of this fight, but now we are moving ourselves right out of it. So we'll take our lumps, we'll regroup, and we'll come back again next time. Okay, so driver form 9.2, which it was 10 during the race. I assume that has something to do with what it was during qualifying and so on. But overall, we just keep chipping away at it. Not as big a chunks as we would like. As you can see here, about 1.25 million lost there. Now we're down to 1.6. And of course, we've still got some races to go. All right, so 2 races to go, 1.6 million. So we're definitely going to get into the red. The question is, are we going to have any sponsorship money to come along between now and then and help alleviate some of that pain anyway? But that'll do it for this episode. Thank you very much for joining me, and stay tuned for more as we continue our Let's Play series of Motorsport Manager.